Have you ever wondered what happens inside your brain when you're swept up in a wave of emotion? The world within us is a bustling, unseen drama of emotions and feelings that come and go, often leaving us wondering why we feel the way we do. But what if I told you that each emotion, every feeling, plays a crucial role in our survival and well-being? Emotions, you see, are automatic responses coordinated by our brain. They are like the unseen puppet masters pulling the strings of our bodies, orchestrating a symphony of changes. These changes can be as microscopic as the release of hormones, or as complex as initiating fight or flight responses when danger looms. Imagine the rush of adrenaline you feel when you're startled, or the warmth that spreads within you when you see a loved one. These are not just abstract sensations, but physiological responses triggered by your brain. Your pupils may dilate, your digestion might slow down, your blood flow could be redirected, your heart rate may increase. All these are the handiwork of hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, released by your brain in response to different emotional states. But why does our brain go through all this trouble? Well, emotions serve as an immediate, biologically advantageous action in response to environmental stimuli. They are designed to be automatic for the sake of efficiency and survival. Imagine if we had to sit and rationally process the threat of an approaching predator. By the time we decided on a course of action, we might already be lunch. Emotions are always linked to stimuli, which can be external, like seeing a loved one, or facing danger, or internal, such as thoughts or memories. They operate on a valence scale, where positive valence leads to approach behaviors and negative valence leads to avoidance. It's our brain's way of nudging us towards what's good for us and away from what's not. As we delve into the intricate dance of emotions and feelings, bear in mind that they're not just fleeting sensations, but a fundamental part of our survival mechanism. Why do we feel what we feel? What's the purpose of emotions? These are questions that have intrigued thinkers, scientists, and philosophers for centuries. Today, we understand that emotions aren't whimsical or random. They serve as mechanisms for immediate, biologically advantageous action in response to environmental stimuli. Picture this: you're walking through a forest when suddenly you spot a snake on the path. Instantly, your heart rate shoots up, your pupils dilate, and a sense of fear engulfs you. This reaction is immediate and automatic. Your brain doesn't stop to ponder whether the snake is dangerous or not. It doesn't have time to do that. Your brain orchestrates this response to ensure your survival. Emotions, in essence, are our brain's way of cutting through the noise and focusing our attention on what's important. They are designed to be automatic for the sake of efficiency and survival. They eliminate the time it would take to rationally process threats. This is why emotions often feel intense and overwhelming. They are meant to spur us into action. But emotions aren't just about survival. They also play a crucial role in our social interactions. They help us form bonds with others, communicate our needs and intentions, and understand the world around us. For instance, the emotion of love encourages us to form close relationships, which are essential for our well-being and survival as social beings. Emotions also guide our decision-making processes. Have you ever had a gut feeling about something? That's your emotions at work. They provide us with quick, often subconscious judgments about our environment, which can be particularly useful when we need to make decisions under pressure. In this way, emotions are more than just feelings. They are a complex interplay of physiological responses, behavioral reactions, and cognitive processes. They are an integral part of our lives, shaping our experiences, actions, and interactions. So when you feel an emotion, whether it's joy, anger, fear, or love, remember that it's your brain's way of helping you navigate the world. Emotions, then, aren't just about feeling good or bad. They're also about survival. What triggers these powerful emotions within us, you might ask? Well, emotions are always linked to stimuli, and these stimuli can be both external and internal. Let's take a closer look at these triggers. External stimuli are things we encounter in our environment. Think about the last time you saw a loved one after a long separation. That surge of happiness you felt, that was an emotional response triggered by an external stimulus. Similarly, if you've ever been startled by a sudden loud noise, the fear you felt was an emotion triggered by an external event. Internal stimuli, on the other hand, originate within us. They can be thoughts, memories, or even physical sensations. Have you ever felt a wave of nostalgia from recalling a cherished memory? That's an internal stimulus at work. Similarly, the anxiety you might feel when you're worrying about an upcoming event is a response to an internal stimulus. But it's not just about the stimuli. Emotions operate on a scale known as emotional valence. On one end of the scale, we have positive valence, which leads to approach behaviors. When we experience emotions with positive valence, like joy or love, we're drawn towards the source of these feelings. On the other end, we have negative valence, which leads to avoidance behaviors. When we feel emotions with negative valence, like fear or disgust, we want to get away from what's causing these feelings. This valence system is a biological tool that has been honed by evolution. It helps us navigate our environment, drawing us towards beneficial situations and steering us away from harmful ones. It's an integral part of how we interact with the world around us, guiding our actions and reactions on a fundamental level. So, next time you're swept up in a strong emotion, take a moment to consider what might have triggered it. Was it something in your environment, a thought or memory? Understanding the triggers and valence of our emotions can provide valuable insights into our behaviors and reactions. Our emotions, it turns out, are intricately tied to our interactions with the world around us and even our thoughts and memories. When does an emotion transition into a feeling? This question takes us into the intriguing world of consciousness and emotions. Let's dive in. Emotions, as we've discussed, are predominantly unconscious responses. They spring up like automatic reflexes to stimuli, setting off a chain of physiological changes. But what happens when we become aware of these emotional states? We transition from experiencing an emotion to feeling a sentiment. Imagine it like this. Emotions are like the waves in the ocean, constantly rising and falling beneath the surface. Our consciousness is like a surfer riding these waves. The moment the surfer catches a wave, that wave becomes more than just a part of the ocean's undulating rhythm. It becomes a ride, an experience, a feeling. That's what our consciousness does. It catches the waves of emotion, bringing them into our awareness, turning them into feelings that we can name, describe, and understand. But here's the thing, this conscious perception of emotions is partial and selective. It's like the surfer who can only ride one wave at a time and can't possibly experience the full range of the ocean's activity. Similarly, we don't become conscious of all the physiological changes that accompany an emotion. We may feel our heart racing and identify the emotion as fear, but we might not be aware of the host of other subtle changes happening inside our bodies. Moreover, we tend to be selective about which emotions we become conscious of. We might pay more attention to strong emotions like love or anger, while less intense emotions might go unnoticed, slipping under the radar of our consciousness. So, while emotions are automatic, unconscious responses, the moment we become aware of them, they transform. They become feelings, experiences that we can articulate, analyze, and react to consciously. This transition from unconscious emotion to conscious feeling is a crucial part of our emotional lives, shaping our reactions, our relationships, and our understanding of ourselves. Emotions may originate in the unconscious, but the moment they surface to our awareness, they become something more. So, what exactly is the difference between emotions and sentiments? Let's delve into the fascinating world of our minds to unravel this mystery. Firstly, we need to understand that emotions are primarily physiological, orchestrated by our brain in response to certain triggers. These triggers, as we've previously discussed, can be both external and internal. When you feel your heart racing as you're walking down a dark alley, or butterflies in your stomach when you see your crush, that's your brain coordinating an automatic emotional response. But sentiments, on the other hand, are a different beast. They involve a more complex psychological layer, incorporating elements such as memories, future plans, and even our self-perception. You see, sentiments are our conscious perception and interpretation of emotions. They are what happens when we become aware of our emotional state, giving meaning to these raw, automatic responses. Let's consider an example. Imagine you're at a party and you see a friend you haven't seen in a while. Your initial emotional response might be joy, manifesting in a smile, a quickened heartbeat, perhaps even a rush of adrenaline. But then you remember a past disagreement you had with this friend, and suddenly your joy might morph into something else, maybe unease or regret. That's sentiment at work. It's your brain adding a layer of complexity to the raw emotion colored by your memories and perceptions. Neuroanatomically and neurophysiologically, emotions and sentiments are processed in different parts of our brain. Emotions are primarily processed in the amygdala, a small almond-shaped part of our brain responsible for our primal emotional responses. Sentiments, however, engage more complex areas like the prefrontal cortex, which is involved in high-level cognitive functions, including conscious thought, decision-making, and social behavior. So, in essence, while emotions are automatic and primarily physiological, sentiments are conscious and psychological. While emotions can exist without awareness, sentiments are a conscious experience, adding layers of complexity to our emotional life. How can understanding our emotions and feelings help us? A burning question indeed. Let's dive into it. Unraveling the biological basis of our emotions and feelings can be a game changer in how we manage our day-to-day interactions. Consider this. When we understand what's happening inside us, we can better navigate the outside world. Imagine being in a heated argument. Your heart rate quickens, your hands tremble, your cheeks flush. These are physiological responses to anger, an automatic reaction from your brain. Recognizing this can empower you to take a step back, to breathe, to calm the storm raging within. In a professional setting, this understanding can be equally transformative. Ever felt your stomach churn during a presentation? That's your body responding to stress, pumping out adrenaline. With this knowledge, you can harness that energy, channel it into focus, and deliver a knockout presentation. Understanding the physiological underpinnings of our emotions can also enhance our empathy towards others. When we acknowledge that emotions are automatic, biologically driven responses, we can approach others with more compassion, recognizing that their reactions are often not a conscious choice, but a response orchestrated by their brain. What's more, understanding our emotions can help us cultivate healthier relationships. We can learn to express our feelings more effectively, to acknowledge and respect the emotions of others, and to navigate conflicts with greater understanding and less hostility. And it's not just about managing the challenging emotions. Think about joy, love, excitement. By understanding the biology behind these positive emotions, we can learn to savor them more deeply, to appreciate the physiological fireworks that accompany these beautiful moments of our lives. Ultimately, understanding our emotions and feelings can significantly enhance our overall life quality. It's about living more consciously, more empathetically, and more authentically. Knowledge is power, and understanding our emotions can indeed lead to a more balanced, fulfilling life. It's a journey of self-discovery, a path towards emotional intelligence, and a stride towards a richer, more nuanced understanding of what it means to be human. Does understanding the biological basis of our emotions diminish their significance? That's a question often asked when we delve into the science of emotions, a journey that can sometimes feel like it's stripping the magic away from our emotional experiences. But is that really the case? Imagine for a moment a beautiful piece of music. The melody touches your heart, the rhythm makes your foot tap, and the harmony gives you chills. Now, if you knew the theory behind that music, the scales, the chords, the time signatures, would it make the music any less beautiful? Of course not. In fact, it might make you appreciate the music even more, understanding the skill and craftsmanship that went into creating something so moving. The same holds true for our emotions. Understanding the biological underpinnings of our emotional life doesn't take away from its beauty or complexity. It merely gives us a new perspective, a new lens through which to view our experiences. It allows us to appreciate the intricate symphony that plays out within us every time we laugh, cry, love, or fear. By acknowledging that our emotions are not just abstract concepts, but rather complex physiological responses intricately orchestrated by our brain, we can begin to truly appreciate their depth and sophistication. It's like looking at a painting and not just admiring the overall image, but also appreciating the skillful brush strokes, the choice of colors, and the way the light and shadow play across the canvas. Understanding our emotions from a biological perspective also allows us to better manage them. It empowers us to take control of our emotional responses, to use them to our advantage, and to improve our relationships and our overall quality of life. So, does understanding the science behind our emotions strip away their magic? Absolutely not. It gives us a deeper appreciation for the complexity and beauty of our emotional lives. It allows us to marvel at the amazing machinery of our brains and the incredible symphony of biochemical reactions that give rise to our feelings. Understanding the science behind our emotions doesn't lessen their impact. If anything, it adds to their wonder. Where do we go from here in our exploration of emotions, you might wonder? Well, our journey into the fascinating world of emotions and feelings is far from over. We've only just begun to scratch the surface of understanding the automatic nature of emotions, the physiological responses they trigger, and the purpose they serve. Looking ahead, we plan to delve deeper into specific emotions like love and fear. Why does the brain seem more attuned to negative stimuli? What happens in our minds when we fall in love? These are just a few of the intriguing questions we aim to answer in our upcoming content. We'll continue to explore how understanding the biological basis of our emotions can aid us in managing our personal and professional relationships, ultimately improving our quality of life. So, stay tuned as we continue our journey into the fascinating realm of emotions and feelings. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of emotions. Your curiosity and eagerness to learn are what drive us to explore these complex and fascinating topics. We hope that you found our content enlightening and that it sparked a desire in you to understand more about the world within you, your emotions, feelings, and sentiments. We encourage you to share this video with your friends and family. It's through discussions and shared experiences that we deepen our understanding and appreciation of our emotions. This not only helps us individually, but it can also foster stronger, more empathetic connections with the people around us. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. We have plenty more content on the way, diving deeper into the world of emotions, their triggers, and how they play out in our lives. Your support helps us continue creating informative and engaging videos like this one. We also invite you to leave a comment below. What questions do you have about emotions? What topics would you like us to explore in future videos? Your thoughts and insights are invaluable to us as we plan our upcoming content. With that said, stay curious, keep learning, and remember, understanding your emotions is a journey, not a destination. We'll see you in our next video, where we continue to delve deeper into the fascinating realm of emotions and feelings.